Hello there, what is going on everyone? Today we're talking about Star Wars Armada and the MC-30 torpedo frigate. This is a terribly deadly ship. There is no denying that. In Star Wars Armada, the MC-30 torpedo frigate is one of the most deadly ships in the entire game and a very popular ship amongst the Rebel Alliance. We're going to talk about this ship and some ways that I have found to make it a little deadlier. If you guys are new here to the channel, we talk a lot about Star Wars and tabletop gaming, and if you're interested in that, you're definitely in the right place. We also have a giveaway going that's running through Halloween for a $50 Amazon gift card. Help you to get a gaming expansion of your choice or two, depending on where you're going with. And to enter to win that, you just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. Plus, if you want to join the community, we have links for our Discord and social media and Patreon links down in the video description below. Patreon is a great way to support the channel and help keep it going, as well as have access to extra giveaways, early access to battle reports, and Discord specific roles, and lots of cool things like that. Plus, at your name in the credits as well. So any of that stuff in the video description below. Let's go ahead and jump into the MC-30 torpedo frigate. Now this is a close range brawler, black dice in every arc, blue dice. So not only are you getting the black dice for those big strong punches, but you're also getting blue dice for the accuracies, and you're able to double arc very easy with a ship like this. I've done a deep dive on the MC-30 and both of its variants in my Armada ship breakdowns series, where I go over every ship in Star Wars Armada. If you want, I'll link to that playlist here at the end of the video. But it's a great series talking about these ships. But this particular version is always been nasty, largely due to the titles, but also the MC-30 got a lot better when Armada 1.5 sort of came out with the Clone Wars. Which took a look at some of the existing rules and updated the usage for the evade token, of which the MC-30C torpedo frigate has 2, making its survivability greatly enhanced. Now, it might look on the surface like it's a glass cannon with only 4 hull. However, don't let that 4 hull fool you. It's got lots and lots of shields, double redirect, and double evade, able to cancel dice, and the dice that don't get canceled are able to be moved. You combine it with somebody like Lando to help take advantage of the really big attacks, and you give it a great title that multiplies its dice removal ability, and you have so much survivability out of this ship with only 4 hull that it does exceedingly well. And I wanted to kind of take that damage survivability of it and multiply it a little bit. So we're going to build a list today that's going to utilize multiple MC-30s. I've had different variations on these, but we're going to be using Ryan Kingston's fleet builder today. So what I want to do is I want to build a fleet that's going to be using Rieekan. And the idea is I want 2 MC-30s that are going to fly side by side. And with these 2 that are flying side by side, the idea is that I can put them directly in the face of even a super Star Destroyer and have no worries. If I survive, naturally great. If my opponent is very lucky and gets enough accuracies and gets enough damage and is able to actually kill one, I can then pop Rieekan, say this is now a zombie ship, they're going to go last, and take the other ship and have that one activate first and fly out of the way. So if I have 2 guys coming directly at the front of an enemy really, really big ship, you know, and even if I'm second player, if they activate first, it's unlikely that they'll kill an MC-30. You know, if it's fully full strength and has all of its defense tokens, its title, its Lando, or whatever it has, it's unlikely that they'll kill an MC-30 every time. But if they do get lucky enough to kill an MC-30, I then make that one a zombie, so it cannot be removed until the end of the round, so it still gets to activate whenever it wants. And I activate the other MC-30 right away, and fly that one away to safety, and able to kind of maximize damage output that way. That is the idea. So with doing, now I had initially had a plan to run 4 MC-30 torpedo frigates and kind of run 2 waves of this, but I wanted to break it up a little bit more. So in this case, here's what we're going to run. We're going to duplicate some of these. I'm going to put Ordnance Expert on both of them. So I'm actually going to, for the things that are going to be on both, I will just duplicate. So we'll start with Ordnance Experts. We are going to run Assault Proton Torpedoes on both. Again, we want to maximize the black dice that we have in so many arcs. We want to have the rerolls, and we want to have those crits be completely devastating, and this is a very good option. Now, for those two, I think that's all we're going to duplicate on them. I'm going to give one Admonition, and I'm going to give one Foresight. Again, great titles. Foresight, Admonition used to be the most popular title. Foresight kind of took over as maybe the most effective title with the improved usage of the evade token. Now all of a sudden, even if you're close range, you can you can pitch that evade token against a larger ship and cause 3 dice to be re-rolled. Really, really nice. So that's good. Also, your redirects are increased a little bit as well. Again, a lot of survivability here, and also protection against a single accuracy because you have double of each evade token. Makes this really, really nice. So your Foresight on this one. The top one, Admonition, still good. You can discard a ready defense token to cancel an attack die. This one is also just overall, it's very good. You're not spending the token, and you're just canceling. So you can cancel a double rather than force a reroll, or use an evade. Reroll 2, and then spend your other evade, or spend a redirect and discard it rather, and just cancel a double if it's there. So it gives you some good options. So I like this title as well, but since this one isn't maybe as reliable as Foresight, and then this one also does cause you to have to get rid of a token, I'm going to put Lando on that one. So I can only run one Lando. And there's other options you could put on here that are survivable options. You could consider something like where is he? Like Major Durlin, but I'm trying to save points because I've got a lot of other points I want to spend on this list. So we're going to add a Flagship. And for our Flagship, I'm going to go with an MC-75. This is a good all-arounder. Both options are good in this case, but I will... today, I'm going to go with the Armored Cruiser. One of the reasons I like the Armored Cruiser is that it's got extra flak. We're not going to go very squadron heavy here, so we might need some squadron flak, but I'm going to put General Rieekan on here. Again, he's going to be helping with these MC-30s. He's a fun commander. He's a little expensive, though. I don't know if he is necessarily the most competitive commander nowadays, but I think not everybody has to be, ready to win worlds just to be worthy to be in a list. I think he still works. I think this is a great type of mechanic to make him shine. And it's not all we're going to do with him. He's going to have a little more tricks in this one. We're going to put Kaitkin and Sholin on the MC-75 here. This is just a really good weapons team for a ship like this. We've got all of the different dice colors. There's lots of different scenarios which we might want to reroll any of these. And so that's a very good thing. I love linked turbo laser towers here. While it's not going to really help us much out of the front arc, it still does help if we are attacking a squadron. If we got one big squadron we really need to take out, it can help us with that. It helps us with the side arc. It's a multi-purpose upgrade, and it's going to work well. Since we have blue dice everywhere, I'm going to put heavy ion emplacements on this one. Again, we're not going to try to be too safe here. We definitely want the heavy ions there. And for our defensive retrofit, we'll go ahead and put electronic countermeasures to help keep our Flagship alive. That's one of the nice things about the MC-75 with the defensive retrofit. We could put more, but we're trying to save some points. Now we're going to add another ship. We do have Rieekan, and so maybe I don't want my MC-30s going in too early. Maybe I want to soften them up a little bit. Let's put a Hammerhead Corvette in there, and I'm going to put Girel's Honor on this one. So we've got the Hammerhead Corvette, we've got Girel's Honor. This one's not doing a whole lot. I'm not putting anything else on up here because I do want to save some points for squadrons. I don't want to go completely squadronless in this fleet. But Girel's Honor, I was going to say I can take this Hammerhead Torpedo Corvette. I can have this be the spearhead. He can go first. He can start out at speed 3. He can get right in the enemy's face, and he can ram them. If I'm fortunate enough to be able to go last and ram and then survive for one more turn, all the better. With the 4 activations, it is possible that I will have the opportunity to go last with this ship, although I don't expect it will be something that you can bank on. Most likely, you'll only get one ram out of General's Honor. But, you know, and I think if your opponent has Squadrons, they're going to try to take this thing out very, very quickly. And one way we'll prevent that is with our Squadrons. We're only going to run 2, but we're going to run named unique Squadrons, so we have the option to use those with Rieekan if we want. And of course, we're going to have to be very picky and choosy. And I'm going to go with my classic team of Sharabe, and we're going to go with Tycho Selchu. The 2 A-Wing pilots that are both scatter aces, both with counter, both hard to kill, and both shooting back, and both have incredible positional ability at speed 5. They have 4 hull each. They have the brace and scatter. Sharabe, of course, people don't want to shoot Sharabe because she'll counter back with those counter 3, and the crits count as damage. Tycho can just move out of engagement and into wherever he wants. So they're great for being able to protect your flagship or protect an early strike, an early alpha strike, potentially to General's Honor. You can do a lot with that. Sharabe is especially good target for Rieekan because if they do try to shoot her, she can just shoot back, and then if you zombify her, she can then just stay there and be like, okay, well, good, none of your other Squadrons can attack because they'll have to shoot Sharabe if they want to, and if they do, they'll just get shot back in return. So it can kind of shut down an entire activation of massive Squadrons. You have some great options with the A-Wings, especially with counter and of course General Rieekan. Now, of course, Rieekan does only work once per round, so you can only zombify 1 ship per round, but he is going to allow you to take a ship or unique Squadron that was destroyed and allow it to just stay in play, treating it as though it were not destroyed until the end of the status phase, which means they can still activate and they can still shoot. Now, there is still some advantage to an opponent attacking an MC-30 or a Hammerhead or something that does get that basically they can still put crits on a ship, and so there might be a crit that says you remove a die when attacking or things like that. So there's definitely still some reason to continue to attack a ship that may have been zombified by Rieekan that hasn't activated yet, that's waiting until the end to activate. There's still always the chance that you might get a crit that messes things up, but generally it's a really nice ability when it does work, and this list is designed to give you like at least 3 different ways to do it. Once for General's Honor, maybe once to save your Squadrons, then maybe once to save an MC-30, and then however else you want to do it, even if it's your flagship, that eventually happens. So you have quite a few different ways to kind of try to maximize Rieekan and try to maximize your MC-30s and their firing potential. And of course, you kind of have Lando, who's sort of doing something similar. He's there to just say, my opponent just happened to roll perfect. Okay, well, good, I have the ultimate defense. Lando, just re-roll every double or everything that I don't like, And so really limit that damage, which is a cool thing. All right, so we also have some objectives we can put on here. I like the idea of opening salvo in this list, even though I don't have as many activations as I normally would have. Opening salvo, it does mean that I can put that General's Honor pretty far forward and wait, and then you can just blow it up. You're going to have all the extra dice. I don't care if you get extra dice when you're attacking it, because I'll be able to just wait and wait and wait, and then come in with 2 extra black dice. And that also means opening salvo works well with MC-30s because I'm going to be close enough that I can throw those extra black dice. Even if I have to end up taking a medium range shot, maybe I get those assault proton torpedoes, which is a cool thing. For our defense, I'm going to go with planetary ion cannon, which is kind of an all-comers. It kind of works well all the time. And I'm going to go with for superior positions in this one. Again, I can take advantage of this with the A-Wings. I can also take advantage of this with the MC-30s. They're pretty maneuverable. I'm going to be navving with them quite a bit. And also they have fairly narrow rear arcs. Now, granted that the Hammerhead has a decent enough sized rear arc. I don't expect my opponent to have too many Squadrons in the rear of the MC-75, although I have a pretty good flak with the MC-75. So I feel like superior positions is I've got a well-rounded enough list with kind of semi-narrow rear arcs on the MC-30s that I feel like superior positions could still work pretty well for this list. But that is the thought on the an MC-30 General Rieekan list. I'd love to hear what you guys think down in the video description below. Let me know if you've been playing some Star Wars Armada lately, if you've been having any success with or against MC-30s, if you're a Rebel player, or if you hate facing Rebels that love to run MC-30s. I'd love to keep that discussion going. Let me know down in the comment section below. I will talk to you guys later. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are out of this world and help make this whole channel possible. Thank you so much for your continued support. I will talk to you later. May the Force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other, party on dudes. So say we all. The spice must flow. And always wash your socks.